Hey guys, it's Laura. It has been months since I've uploaded. Has it been months? I don't know. But weeks for sure, and it has been a very long time since I've uploaded. I don't know why. I don't know, like lately I've been feeling like less and less inclined to upload something. I don't know why, but I've been very busy just knitting and working and school, and my health hasn't been really good. It's nothing major. It's just like a throat infection in August. I had a cold last month, and then another cold came by a couple of weeks ago. So clearly I haven't been taking care of myself like lately, and I should, and I have been. I started juicing. I spent $200 at Best Buy buying a juicer, and which reminds me, I've been slacking again. I'm lazy and total slacker when it comes to my health. Everything else, I'm pretty good. I'm very good at it. But when it comes to my health, I'm such a total slacker, and I love junk food. I love salty and sugary food, which is really bad. So yeah, going back to the reminder, self-reminder, go out and buy more produce so you can juice more. Anyway, this will be majorly a knitting podcast because I haven't mentioned anything knitting related since this past summer. Ever since I announced, like, yeah, mostly it's gonna be like knitting related things, but once in a while I throw in other things that I'm interested in, like Victoria's Secret lingerie. Obviously, I don't need to buy lingerie all the time. But if I buy something, then I will surely, I will remember to share it with you guys. And makeup once in a while, okay? And speaking of makeup related, today's the first day that I've worn circle lenses, in a while, like, I don't know, probably in like a year, giving my eyes a break because 2 years ago I had an eye exam, and I was told that my eyes were dry and lacking oxygen because I've been wearing circle lenses every day for long periods of time. So yeah, again, I tried today. I just opened a new vial. These are the Neo Princess Violet, and I got it from ibeauty.com, like I and then ibeauty.com, but I'm not sure if the website is still up because it's been years since I bought a pair of circle lenses. Now, going back to knitting related, I want to show you all of my FOs, which are like finished objects. They're mostly socks and a hat and a shawl. So if you follow me on Instagram, you will see all of the yarns and things that I've been buying knitting related. Food sometimes, my dog, and things that I've knitted. So these are the first pair of socks that I made. These are the honeycomb socks, and the yarns that I used are red sock, blue sock yarns, and they're based in Ottawa. So I've worn and washed these several times already, so you can see that the red is like bleeding into the socks. So anything that I've made, that I've knitted, I always wash it with lukewarm water in a basin. I put in vinegar and even a little bit of hydrogen peroxide just to like kill the bacteria. So because these are my first ever socks, I've really messed up on the which side did I mess up on? The pointier one, which is this. I knit it much tighter. I was really tense being a new knitter, and the toe is pointier, but when I wear it, it's just enough of the toe. But this one is very small. Like, I like this toe. I think it's called a star toe, so it looks like a swirl when you stretch it out. I'm sorry that it looks gross because it's like, I haven't washed it yet. I used it yesterday. And the thing is, it looks like a frigging nipple when I wear it because it's like this short, and it shouldn't be like that. That's not what I want. and I will put it back on because I wanna wear this today. So my sister is more of a seasoned knitter. She's also an indie dyer. She dyes yarn at home. She's pretty familiar with the whole knitting thing. So she told me to make sure that you rotate your socks. So one day you wear this, one day you wear that, because yeah, you do wear them out, and because I work so hard on these, I want them to last for a very long time. And then the next one that I made are these. These are the mashed potato socks designed by Verena, the Wool Club. And I've also made 2 of her designs here, which I will show you right after. So this is a test knit. Test knitting means that when a designer comes up with a new pattern, he or she looks for test knitters, you know, like people who can help you test the design to see if there are errors or any sort of like feedback from other people. It's good to have a fresh eye. We're human, we're only human, we make mistakes. There are things that, you know, we miss, and you know, other things that perhaps we can modify or make it easier for future knitters who are going to use and follow the pattern, right? So for this one, because you are stitching 2 stitches to the right and the left, you tend to twist the stitches, so I suggest going a size up. Like she'll have like sizes 34 euro to 30 something, and then, you know, I follow the smallest size, which has something to do with the length of the foot, but I'm more worried about the diameter. So now this sock, this is the first one that I made. I can tell from the way it was dyed because this is lighter, this is like darker. So this is the first one that I made. This one is actually tighter and this one is more loose because I figured out that I have to go up a size. So instead of using 64 stitches right around, I have to go 68 stitches right around, again just because I am twisting stitches not just at the front, at the back as well. So here you're not gonna experience any tightness on the instep and on the sole, because the sole is just all like stockinette stitches, which are like just your regular stitches, and then here you're twisting, so only on one side, so you should be fine. So in case you run into mashed potato socks and you're not sure what to do, just ask me, and that's my tip for using the mashed potato socks. And then these yarns, oh, this is Betcha by Golly. Is it Betcha by Golly? I think it's Betcha by Golly by the Flying Kettle. And then Lolo did it. I used her yarns. So these are just, the pattern is just plain vanilla sock, stockinette throughout. And then this is Pretty Little Zombies, and then the plum one, I forgot what it's called, but it's the only color that she sells that it is in that color. So for more info, the best way to do is to go to my Instagram account, which I will put in the description down below. So this one, again, I always have a problem with the toe where I make them so small, and again, it's one of my like first socks, so it's like a frigging nipple when I wear it. And then the other one, which is my favorite because I did so well making these, the pattern that I used is Hermione's Everyday Socks, which is free on Ravelry. So Ravelry is an account for knitters, crocheters, or knitters slash crocheters, designers, everybody who is, you know, interested in that subject. So, and there's tons of patterns and more information on yarns, needles, notions, you know, other textile businesses. So Hermione's favorite sock, you know, like you can see there's texture It's very, very easy to make. The only part that I didn't like is the heel turn. So the heel turn instruction that I use is actually from the flowers and honeycomb instruction, which is the first one. I'm wearing it right now, the first sock that I showed you guys. And then the toes, I did not mess up on the toes again, so sorry. I just washed these, so they're kind of, you know, like hard here. And also you will notice that the color seems to be darker here and the color here seems to be like lighter, because this is the part that I use, right? Like all the time, my sweat and my germs go in there. And this looks still really nice and new. And just for your information, colors that are red or like purple, they do run. So because this is like this color falls in that category, it does bleed. So that tends to happen, just letting you guys know. But out of all the pairs of socks that I have, these are my favorite. And then these are sock blockers, so you put your socks in here to like stretch them out and shape them in the way that you want. So my sister made these for me. These are just placemats from like the dollar store or Walmart or anywhere. So they can be very flexible. You can put them in here. And so like, let's say you just finished making a pair of socks and they tend to be, you know, a little tight. This helps with stretching it out and keeping them in their shape. So you can store them as is. Some of them are more expensive, made out of wood, made out of like steel or metal with like a little hanger, plastic. So it's totally up to you. You can buy them online, usually on Etsy.com. And then again, going back to Wool Club or Verena, I made this hat, which is the Flusenzi hat, and the pom-pom is freaking huge. It's like the size of like half of my face. So the pom-pom, I got it from an art store and that I didn't even know sold yarn and pom-poms. Like I had to look for it on Google. So the name of the store is Desserts, and the brand of the pom-pom is Bernat. So right now that's the only brand that they carry. I don't know right at this moment if they carry more brands, but I really want something that's like smaller. So the yarn that I used is Madeline Tosh DK in Earl Grey. So before when I didn't knit yet, my sister has been showing me like, you know, different brands of yarn, and Madeline Tosh is like one of my favorite yarns ever. And this yarn, I actually did buy it in Newmarket, which is like an hour from where I live, an hour's drive from where I live. So I made this back in the summer, and the name of the pattern is Fleecency Hat by Verena, the Wool Club. So this one I made it, and I didn't wash and block it because I got really excited. It's my first ever hat. So the fit is quite snug, but you can use if you want it to be slouchy, like definitely you don't have to like, you know, follow the pattern 100%. Like I know there are people out there that, you know, are very anal with the pattern, like they want to do it exactly the pattern, what the pattern says, and follow everything to the T. But you can definitely use bigger size needles. This one I forgot what size needle I used, but I did what the instructions said. So yeah, and these are very warm. So I find that everything that I've made is much warmer. Definitely more expensive. Knitting is a very expensive hobby, but it's much warmer, it's much more effective, much better quality than things that you can buy in the store because it is handmade. So I've had a couple of my colleagues actually ask me to make them hats. Now hats are very easy to make. I'm a slow knitter. I'm a new knitter. I only started in May. So for hat, I would say approximately it takes me 5 days. For socks, it has more stitches because they're tinier. The stitches are tinier. So I would say about 2 weeks. But this one is my greatest accomplishment yet. Again, the designer is by Verena the Wool Club. This is the second time I've test knitted for her. So this is called the Bumblebee Shawl, and it's about 9 feet right across. So I've got a better photo of it on Instagram, but that's what it looks like. So this yarn is by Maya, the Wool Barn, and it's called Tuscan Sun. It's got 4-ply, and it contains merino cashmere silk. And this one is wildflowers, this green color with like subtle like purples and pinks on it. It's a very popular color by Megan, Lichen and Lace. And I ran out of yarn, so I will show you at the bottom here, just this. Okay, let's pick a spot. Like this part here is sort of different from the rest of the shawl because of the way she dyed it. So the one that I bought from Yarns Untangled on Spadina in Nassau, it's much more of a washed out green, very very subtle green and pink and purple, whereas this one is much more concentrated. I actually filmed a mini video on my Instagram on how I on when I got that yarn. It was very concentrated, red, lavender, pink, and some yellows running across it. But overall, it didn't make that much of a difference because it was just those, like this much of the more concentrated version of the wildflowers. So when you buy yarn and you want, or you're looking at a particular color, it does not come out the same right across. I mean, I prefer if every single yarn is uniform, every single batch is the same, there's a consistency. But because these are hand dyed, it comes out different every time in the dyer. But she's big now, Megan, so she sells her yarn across Canada on different stores, retail stores. I'm not sure about the rest of the world. She probably does in a few places, but I don't know. So that is my Bumblebee shawl. It's very warm because of the cashmere and silk content on this one. The green one, wildflowers, it's on a single ply base, and it contains merino nylon. I think it's merino nylon. Right now she changed her base. It's 400 yards. Before it was different. It was like almost 500 yards, I think. But I still have her old base. It's not, the quality is really bad, and I messaged her about it. Megan is really nice when it comes to customer service. The previous batch, the faulty batch that I got, it came in another color, same base, single ply. It was in the color amethyst, so it looks like a glowy, very light lavender. It's very angelic, but I found like fluffs and knots and, you know, like fibers just sticking out. It wasn't smooth and straight and shiny like her new base. So she sent me another one in a different base in another color, which is awesome, for free, gratis. Okay, awesome customer service. Yeah, it's really hot in here, so I'm gonna take that off. I also went to Michael's. This is the first time I saw these needles. They are by Loops and Threads. They only sold Boye, B-O-Y-E, before. When I saw these, I was like, okay, I wanted to try them. So I got one for socks in the US one, or 2.25 millimeters. I don't know. Yes. And they're in different colors, but what I don't like is that there's no label on each needle, like what the other ones that I've used, like Addi, which are these, the Addis. Turbo Rocket, this is US1, same size as this, 2.25 millimeters for socks. I will show you this project later. These are called DPNs, double pointed needles, because there's a point here and a point here. And then I bought a couple for hats. I like to start with a circular needle first and then transfer the remaining stitches. Like when you get up to the crown and you don't have a lot of stitches left, it's hard to work on a circular needle. So it's either you can use magic loop or DPNs. For now I prefer DPNs because they're cheaper, they're easier to find, and I don't really use them as much, only when I make hats. But this one, it depends on my mood. Like sometimes I would like to use DPNs when I make socks, especially when you start from the cuff down, like cuff to the toe, and again when you're decreasing your stitches, it gets tighter and tighter and harder to, you know, finish your project. So going back to these, I bought them in US 6 and US 7. So mainly for hat use. That's it. They're about $6 or $7 each. And then I invested money on buying a set of needles. My sister was looking out for me. I'm a new knitter. So before, she wanted me to try different types of brands to see which one I like the best, which one will work for me according to my preference, before jumping into and spending a lot of money on a set of needles. So I want to make sure that it's not just a phase and I'm gonna move on to another hobby, but clearly not. I am still knitting. At work, a lot of people see me like sitting down, you know, like when I have spare time. I'm not slacking. No, I usually do this on my breaks and when I'm done all with working all of my duties, when I'm finished with all of my duties. So my sister said, you know what, I think it's time that you can go and buy a set of needles. So I chose this. This is by the brand called Hiya, and this is the small set. So the needles are 5 inches in diameter, and it has all these sizes. Let me just take out the information. So I bought this from Yarns Untangled. Where did I put it? On Spadina in Nassau or Kensington Market in downtown Toronto. So there's a zipper here at the top of the flap, you know, to store whatever, and there's a zipper back here as well. This is where all of my cords or wires are. So Hiya, sharp interchangeable. So they all came with small 5-inch tips, like the ones, these ones. Okay, and they get wider and wider in diameter. And I usually make projects that have smaller diameter, so this is perfect for me. I haven't made anything that's like bulky yet. I mean, I'm not really a fan of like bulky materials, bulky sweaters, heavy, thick things. So I have US 2 to 8, which are 275 to 5 millimeter tips, and I have 18, 26, 34, and 42 inch cables, which are these that you will connect into the needles. So I've also stored some needles in here. This is by Chiaogoo. Their wires, their cables are usually red. This is for making hats. I highly recommend this brand, and they print the size right on the needle. So this is size 6 or 4 millimeters right across around it. And these are Addi Turbo Rockets. I find that when you knit with this, it's very, very slippery. Like, be careful because your stitches will like just fall off and you're gonna drop them. So this one, but it makes the knitting much faster because they're slippery. So this one, it's harder to see the label because it's so tiny. It's printed right on the cable, and it's made in Germany. This is US. Sorry guys, this is very hard to see. US 7, 4 millimeters. So I think these are, this is US 6. So there's really not much of a difference. It's like 1 millimeter difference right around it. But the cables are both 16 inches, which is good for making a hat. And then it came, okay, so the Hiya, it came with the small 16/18 inches cable, 20/26 inch cable, 32 and 42 inch cable. So they get longer and longer. So the shorter ones preferably for a hat, the longer ones preferably when you make 1 pair of socks to 2 pairs of socks at a time, like this one, or I only make socks 1 at a time, or like when you're making a shawl. And I didn't see this, it came with this. Okay, these are rubber pads, and I don't know what this is. I think this is for loosening or tightening the needles. Like, so like, let's say this. I'm gonna show you guys. This is my first time doing this, because like when I first used this, it kept like just unraveling. So it kept coming off. Yeah, I was making a hat and I dropped my stitches like 2 times. So this, I don't know what this does exactly. I know the pads help you to with tightening your, so you go like this on both sides. So you hold it on both sides so you don't hurt your fingers, and just like tighten it, yeah? And then taking it off would be easier. But I've never tried this before because there are 2 holes in here. So I wonder, and I'm curious now to what that does, but I can ask, always ask my sister. Like, this goes here, so I guess, I don't know, it helps you with like taking it off, I'm guessing, not putting it on, so you can like pull it right away. I think that's how it works. But yeah, those are the interchangeable needles by Hiya. Because like, it's really annoying every time you have a new project and then you have to go out. I'm not gonna go out and buy another pair of needles every frigging time. No frigging way. I'm not doing that. So it's good to have the interchangeable, so you can customize the length of your cables and the diameter of your needles, like, and it's all there. So this one I'm working on right now. These are the honey, no, not honey, why do I keep saying honey badger? These are the blueberry waffle socks. So I finished one the other night and I love the fit of it. That's the heel, which I'm not really a fan of. It's just stockinette stitches, but you know, but I really want to use a German row heel, which looks like your conventional like socks where it just goes straight, like you don't have these at all. It's just smooth and it looks like just a bunch of stockinette stitches, and it looks like your traditional, you know, in-store bought pair of socks. but I love this, like the texture of it. It really does. So yeah, sorry I got cut off. I don't know why my camera did that, but yeah, that's it. Blueberry waffle socks. It's free on Ravelry. You can download it, print it anytime. And then the yarn that I use is by Leila King. She's on Etsy and on Instagram. And this is in her colorway Gelateria, and it has silver stellina like running through it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it's got this sparkle on there. And the needles that I'm using right now are the Addi, again, Addi Turbo Circular, the one from Germany, expensive. Like, it cost me like over $20 just for this pair. So like, if you were to buy a set of needles from them, it costs about $200. So yeah, again, very slippery needles, and but I don't mind it. And this is in the 40-inch cord, so you can definitely use or sorry, like make 2 at a time pair of socks, but I don't do that. So yeah, I think I'm going to sneeze. You know what, that's what usually happens. Like when you think about your sneeze, it doesn't happen. Which is really funny. But yeah, that's all that I'm going to say. Lately I've in the months that I've knitted, I've accumulated a lot of yarn, and for me to record that, like I can't even make it and include it in this video because there's a lot. And I talk a lot. I'm very detail oriented. So I'm gonna leave you guys alone. Thank you guys so much for watching and liking and, you know, being with me this whole 5-6 years that I've been filming and changing and all that stuff. Just thank you for your support and for watching. And I hope you enjoyed and learned something in this video. You don't have to knit. Like, I'm not telling you guys, I'm just sharing something that I really like. And now that I'm looking at my hair, it did grow quite a lot. And this is my real hair color. It's like black brown, and I'm going to get it done. Definitely going lighter in the next couple of weeks. And I'm very excited, and I'm almost finished with my macroeconomics class. I really like my professor, and I really like my class, and I really like the whole marketing program. And most likely I will be going back home to the Philippines just for a vacation next year. I haven't been there since I moved here in Canada, which is like since 2002. It's going to be fun and very hot, and I'm gonna be on a beach, and we don't really have, you know, here in Canada, like you have to go to a lake to experience the beach. Or if you're, you know, like on the far east coast or the far west coast, where there's the Atlantic Ocean or the Pacific Ocean. But I'm not. I'm on land, where you have to drive hours to get to a body of water. I mean, Lake Ontario is there, but it's freaking polluted. So no, that's not a beach. I want like tropical sandy beach with no pollution. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and up until next time. Bye.